Hi, gorgeous. Welcome back to my channel. I want you to take a deep breath with me before we begin. Just slowly inhale and exhale. Because I know if you clicked on this video, your mind has probably been running in circles lately. You've been analyzing his texts, replaying conversations, looking for hidden meanings, wondering if something changed, wondering if he still feels the same, wondering if you said too much or not enough. And the exhausting part is that even when nothing is technically wrong, your nervous system still feels like something is about to go wrong. So today I want to help you come back home to yourself. Not by forcing you to stop caring, not by pretending your feelings don't exist, not by becoming cold or detached, but by helping you stop abandoning your own peace in the process of loving someone. Because overthinking in relationships is not just thinking too much. It's fear, it's hypervigilance, it's emotional survival mode. And so many women think they're simply crazy or too emotional when really they've just spent years training their nervous system to search for danger in love. So if this is you, I need you to hear me carefully. You are not broken. Your mind is trying to protect you, but the problem is protection can become self-destruction when your thoughts never let you rest. Because eventually, overthinking steals the very thing you were trying to protect in the first place. Your peace, your confidence, your softness, your ability to actually enjoy love. You stop being present in the relationship because you're too busy trying to predict the future of it. And I know how painful that feels. You can be lying in bed next to someone you love and still feel emotionally unsafe inside your own mind. That's what relationship anxiety does. It turns love into a constant investigation. You start searching for reassurance everywhere. How long did he take to reply? Why did his tone sound different? Why didn't he say goodnight the same way? Is he losing interest? Am I too much? What if he leaves? And your brain treats every tiny uncertainty like an emergency. But gorgeous, uncertainty is part of every relationship. No amount of overthinking will ever give you complete control over another human being. And this is the hard truth. Overthinking is often an attempt to control pain before it happens. Your mind says, if I analyze enough, maybe I can prevent heartbreak. But love doesn't work that way. You cannot think your way into emotional safety. Real safety comes from knowing that even if something changes, even if someone disappoints you, even if things don't work out, you will still be okay. That is emotional security. And I know that may sound simple, but for someone who fears abandonment deeply, that belief can feel almost impossible. Because maybe at some point in your life, love felt unpredictable. Maybe affection was inconsistent. Maybe you had to earn validation. Maybe you learned that closeness could disappear suddenly. So now your nervous system stays alert all the time. Not because you're dramatic, not because you're needy, but because your body remembers emotional instability. And when you understand this, something beautiful happens. You stop shaming yourself. You stop making yourself the enemy. Because healing begins the moment you stop saying, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "What is my nervous system trying to protect me from?" That question changes everything. Now, here's something else I want you to understand. Overthinking is rarely about the present moment. It's usually about fear of the future. Most of the time, nothing catastrophic is actually happening right now. But your mind keeps creating imaginary scenarios. He's going to leave. He's losing feelings. I'm not enough. I'm going to get hurt. And your body reacts to those thoughts as if they're already true. Your heart races. Your stomach tightens. You feel panic. You feel urgency. And suddenly you want to text him again. Seek reassurance. Check social media. Start an argument. Pull away emotionally. Test him. Not because you're manipulative, but because anxiety wants certainty. And certainty feels temporarily soothing, but only temporarily. Because reassurance addiction is dangerous. The more reassurance you need from someone else, the less safe you feel within yourself. That's why healing is not about getting better at monitoring someone else. It's about getting better at regulating yourself. That's the shift. And I want to guide you through that slowly today. So the next time you feel yourself spiraling, I do not want you to immediately react. I want you to pause. Just pause, even for 30 seconds, because anxious thoughts move fast, healing moves slower, and your power returns the moment you stop treating every emotion like an emergency. So here's a simple practice. When your mind starts racing, instead of immediately believing your thoughts, say, "I am feeling anxious right now." That does not automatically mean something is wrong. That sentence alone can calm your nervous system more than you realize, because overthinking convinces you that feelings are facts. But feelings are not always facts. Sometimes they are old wounds speaking. Sometimes they are fear speaking. Sometimes they are exhaustion speaking. And sometimes your nervous system is reacting to past pain, not present reality. So breathe, Slowly inhale through your nose. Hold it gently. And exhale longer than you inhaled. Again, inhale, exhale. Your body needs signals of safety before your mind can think clearly. This is why emotional regulation matters so much. You cannot solve relationship anxiety purely through logic. Your nervous system must learn safety too. And safety is built through repetition, through slowing down, through grounding yourself, through choosing not to react impulsively every single time fear appears. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but what if my intuition is right? And listen, intuition is calm. Fear is loud. Intuition does not scream. It does not obsess. It does not force. Fear creates urgency. Fear catastrophizes. Fear demands immediate answers. So before reacting, ask yourself, am I responding from clarity or from fear? That question can save you from so much unnecessary suffering. And I also want to say this gently. Sometimes overthinking becomes a form of self-abandonment because your entire focus becomes him, his behavior, his mood, his feelings, his consistency. Meanwhile, you disappear. Your hobbies disappear. Your joy disappears. Your connection to yourself disappears. You become emotionally consumed by monitoring the relationship. And gorgeous, love should add to your life, not erase you from it. A healthy relationship cannot thrive when your entire emotional world depends on one person behaving exactly the way you need at all times. That pressure will exhaust both of you. And more importantly, it will exhaust you. So part of healing means returning attention back to yourself, back to your own body, your own life, your own needs, your own dreams. Ask yourself, when was the last time I truly felt connected to myself? Not distracted, not consumed, not chasing reassurance, but genuinely connected to yourself. Because self-trust is the antidote to overthinking. When you trust yourself, you stop trying to control everything. You know that if something feels wrong, you can handle it. You know that if someone leaves, you can survive it. You know your worth does not disappear because another person changes their mind. That is freedom. And self-trust is built in small moments. Every time you soothe yourself instead of spiraling, every time you pause before reacting, every time you stop assuming the worst, every time you choose peace over panic, you are rebuilding trust with yourself. Now I want to give you another powerful practice. When anxiety appears, instead of saying, he's pulling away, he doesn't care, I'm losing him, try saying, I notice that I'm afraid right now. Do you see the difference? One creates panic. The other creates awareness. Awareness heals. Catastrophizing destroys peace. And this is something deeply important. Your thoughts are not commands. You do not have to obey every fearful thought your mind produces. You can observe them without becoming them. That is emotional maturity. And I know healing relationship anxiety takes time, especially if your heart has been hurt before, especially if you've experienced inconsistency, rejection, betrayal, or abandonment. But please remember this. Your past experiences may explain your fear, but they do not have to define your future. You are allowed to experience love without constant panic. You are allowed to rest emotionally. You are allowed to stop preparing for disaster all the time. And honestly, one of the biggest shifts happens when you stop seeing peace as boring, because anxious attachment often mistakes emotional chaos for passion. The inconsistency feels addictive. The uncertainty feels intense. The highs and lows feel consuming. But healthy love feels calmer, not because it lacks depth, but because your nervous system is no longer constantly fighting for survival. At first, healthy love can even feel unfamiliar. You may think, why does this feel less intense? Because peace is quiet. And if you've lived in emotional chaos for a long time, peace can almost feel suspicious. But peace is what allows love to actually grow. Not fear, not obsession, not overanalysis. Peace. Now I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine waking up and not immediately checking your phone in panic. Imagine being able to enjoy your day without mentally tracking someone else's energy. Imagine trusting that if something truly needs your attention, you'll handle it calmly. Imagine feeling grounded within yourself instead of emotionally controlled by uncertainty. That version of you exists. She's not far away. She's built slowly through small choices, through awareness, through self-compassion, through nervous system regulation, through choosing yourself repeatedly. And please stop believing that being emotionally secure means never feeling anxious again. That's not realistic. Healing is not the absence of fear. It's learning not to let fear control your behavior. That's the difference. You can feel anxious and still choose calm. You can feel afraid and still choose self-respect. You can feel uncertainty and still protect your peace. And every time you do that, you become stronger emotionally, not harder, stronger. There's a difference. I also want to remind you that someone loving you should not require you to betray yourself constantly. You should not have to overperform for basic reassurance. You should not have to shrink yourself to feel chosen. You should not have to exhaust your nervous system trying to keep someone interested. Real love feels safe enough for you to breathe. And if your mind constantly tells you that you must obsess in order to prevent abandonment, ask yourself, what would happen if I trusted myself instead? Not blindly trusted another person. Trusted yourself. Trusted your ability to cope. Trusted your intuition. Trusted your resilience. Trusted your worth. Because when self-worth deepens, overthinking weakens. You stop chasing certainty from other people because you become emotionally anchored within yourself. And that changes every relationship you enter. So tonight, I want you to practice something very simple. Put your phone down for a few minutes. Place your hand on your chest. Take a slow breath. And say, I do not need to solve everything right now. I am safe in this moment. I can give myself peace. Say it again. I am safe in this moment. I can give myself peace. Because peace is not something another person hands to you. It's something you learn to create within yourself. And the beautiful thing is, once you truly learn that, relationships stop feeling like emotional battlefields. You stop losing yourself in fear. You start showing up softer, calmer, more grounded, more present. Not because life became perfect, but because you did not abandon yourself every time uncertainty appeared. And gorgeous, I promise you. You do not need to spend your life trapped inside anxious thoughts. You do not need to monitor love every second to deserve it. You do not need to earn safety by exhausting yourself emotionally. You are already worthy of love, consistency, reassurance, and peace. And no matter what happens in your relationship, you will be okay. You will survive heartbreak if it ever comes. You will survive uncertainty. You will survive disappointment. But more importantly, you deserve to experience moments of peace while love is still here. So breathe tonight. Unclench your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Come back to yourself. Your mind does not need to carry the weight of the future right now. All you need to do is meet yourself gently in this moment, and that is where healing begins.